Hey everybody, Betty Rhoades, Executive Director of HillVets here. We're excited today to be talking to Andrea McCarren, and she just has so many interesting things going on that I'm not even going to try to summarize. I'm going to turn it over to Andrea. Andrea, why don't you share with our community and our audience who you are and what you do?
First of all, I am really honored to be one of your top 100. I mean, I do what I do because I'm really passionate about doing my part to help veterans and military families and active duty service members. Yeah. So to get an accolade is just really icing on the cake and really unexpected. So I wanted to start by saying how grateful I am for that. I am Chief Content Officer of PedFed Digital. This is a little team of recovering journalists that I put together in January of 2019. And we simply tell video stories and content pieces on resilience, service, and inspiration.
Like, tell me how this all came about. How did this develop? You know, you said recovering journalists.
Well, I love this because I am now currently raising my 4th service dog, Ace, for a wounded warrior or a first responder with a disability. And I started raising service dogs 6 years ago because it was always on my bucket list. I've been raised with dogs, I love dogs, I've been a strict vegetarian since the age of 5 because I loved animals, and I always wanted to raise a service dog. I had no idea that that would completely change the course of my life and my career. So I was working in television news, I was an investigative reporter and worked in major markets for the last 30 years, always intended to retire in that field. Lo and behold, I raised my first service dog on the job, and I started covering veterans issues, the challenges facing military spouses, caregivers, and that became kind of my specialty, and who knew? And then lo and behold, I ended up, fast forward, 5 years, and I met PenFed CEO James Skegg because he learned I was raising service dogs, wanted to meet me and see if that might be something PenFed could do.
Oh, wow.
As a corporate initiative.
Okay.
Met him, started a service dog raising program at PenFed before I even started there. And he said, how are things in news? And I said, it's great. I just wish I could cover more veteran stories and more stories of service and resilience. At the same time, he'd been cooking up this notion of creating a video storytelling team. And one thing led to the other, and I pretty much was offered a job the next week.
How has the pandemic impacted the work that you're doing with PenFed Digital?
That is such a great question, and once again, something completely unexpected happened. We always tell positive stories on PenFed platforms. Since the pandemic started, we're reaching 12 million people a month just on Facebook. And who would turn to a credit union for their content?
Right.
But you start, the tentacles start reaching out, and we're really proud that we can make people happy. And again, puppies. These are puppies with a purpose and a mission.
Everybody loves puppies. So I want to talk about yours, the one that you're currently working with. And, as you can see, he's not here today, but talk to me about Ace.
Okay. Ace is an incredible puppy from America's Vet Dogs, which is also home to late President Bush's service dog, Sully, the Washington Capitals service dog captain, who just went in.
Yes.
And people always say, how can you raise and love and nurture a dog for 18 months that is glued to your side 24/7, goes to work with you, comes home to you and your family, and then say goodbye? And I view it as this incredible privilege to raise a service dog for a stranger. Particularly, and more than anybody in the veteran space, these dogs that we train not only will dramatically improve, but likely save a life. And so Ace is now 10 months. This is the first time we've been apart. I have been training him every day since he was 8 weeks. He is learning just a variety of commands he is a designated post-traumatic stress dog.
Okay. Wow.
It's just amazing what dogs can do.
Yeah.
And, we work primarily with labs, golden retrievers. Even our organization does standard poodles as well. They are all dogs that are known for their intelligence, their loyalty, and their trainability. I was walking one day with one of the service dogs I raised, and this gentleman, out of the blue, this is downtown DC in the mall, went down on his hands and knees and says, "Oh my goodness, is this Nigel?" And I said, wow. And he says, I watch Channel 9 every day because, you know, I love your anchor and I watch for Nigel.
Aw.
And I said, wow, thank you so much. I would really appreciate your watching. And he looked up at me from the ground and he said, oh, do you work there too? So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about service dogs and raising them in the public eye.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Andrea, we cannot wait to celebrate you for real, in person, in gala style, when we're able to celebrate the HillVets 100 class of 2019. And in the meantime, we thank you so much for what you're doing and for coming in and chatting with us today.
And thank you for what you're doing, and I really hope this is just the start of a beautiful partnership.